Bees are the most important pollinator of crops and native plant species in Ireland. They are a key component of our wildlife. Beekeeper Joe Connaughton is a passionate advocate of bees and brings to life the story of their importance across generations to schools and community groups.
Hello, my name is Joe Connaughton. I am not a master beekeeper, I am a hobbyist beekeeper, and I do it for the fun and the enjoyment of it. Mainly for biodiversity and all the plants and stuff like that. I have an interest in that, always had, and I got into beekeeping about 8 years ago, myself and my son, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. So hopefully anything you see today may help you or encourage you to start, and it is a worthwhile hobby. I have lived here in St. John's. As you can see, it's a beautiful area here with the Shannon behind me, but most of all it's the trees and flowers that grow around here. This here was a meadow, well, it's a meadow the last 3 years. Before that we had barley in it, and we've let it grow wild. During the winter I graze horses on it, and they pare the ground down, and in springtime it is a flood with flowers. Orchids, bluebells, you name it, this grows here. Even at the moment I see lots of different flowers. Right round about we've got all the trees of ash, oak, sycamore, poplar. I have lime trees sown down there. We have crab trees across here, horse chestnut behind us. So as you can look around, even St. John's Wood is just down. So bees can travel down as far as that. That gives the bees lots of time to fly, pollinate, which is the main function of the bee. It just cross-pollination between the apple trees. I have apple trees, they're down the road, so they are. And as pollination goes, we all know that bees pollinate 90% of the world's food, and without them we would be in a bad way, because from potatoes to carrots to fruit to you name any fruit, it has to be pollinated by bees or similar type insects. There's 19 different types of bees, but I mainly deal with the honeybee, black Irish, native Irish bee. So I enjoy working with them. They do sting, but then they're entitled to, because I know that they actually produce one of the nicest honeys that I've ever eaten. And a number of local farmers have asked me about bees and are willing and asking, is it possible to put hives onto their land for cross-pollination and stuff like that. In fact, 2 people have come to me and I've actually placed hives on their land as well. You can see the bees, all the top white stuff is capped honey. It's capped honey. All this stuff here is shiny, it's nectar that's looking back at you. There's excess water in that, and they will take the water out of that and they'll drop the water content down to 17%, and when they do, they'll cap it off like that, and then it's honey that's ready for harvesting. The dark colour up there on the top is pollen that they're taking in and storing. This is a hive that I made myself. This hive is made from all recycled material. The lid is from the printing presses. It's a very fine aluminium and it's easy to work with. And as you can see, the writing on that is in Russian. I think it's Russian anyway, so I make all that as I'm into recycling all the stuff that I need. So I also make all of the hive, which is timber that I've cut down and reinforced and the whole lot. So that is where the queen does all her business. And on that, the bees will semicircle there, and this will all be larvae and eggs, and there'll be a store of honey stored all the way around on the front and on the back. And that will stay in that hive for 2-3 years. This is a solar wax extractor, and this here is the product of all the old frame, all the old comb that I've taken out, chopped up and put into this. With the glass on top of this, it gets to a very high temperature, and the wax in this melts out, runs down and comes out through a slot in the bottom of this and into this water trough down here. As soon as the wax hits the water crab, it goes hard, and over the day all of that will render down to maybe about half its size. And the end product is this. This is the wax that I done yesterday. Yesterday was a really hot day. Today isn't successful at all. You really need strong sunshine. But this is what I can trade back to the beekeepers in Donegal Bees and all such bees companies as that. So, no waste with the beekeeper. See the queen with the red dot? See her? The whole colony swings round her. Yeah, a good queen, they say, can lay 1,500 to 2,000 eggs a day. Some say more, some say less, depending on conditions. That's a nice big queen sort of, you know. So she's a good queen. I wish all the queens were like that.